We made our own platform that can predict behavior.
Wow, that's cool.
And it's a jaw dropper. It's so scary accurate that I was like, whoa, ew, woo. Because if you can predict behavior, that's the game.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Ad Podcast. We are streaming to you from the R&R suite on the Palais. We have Michon Martin, who's the CEO of R&R, here to talk to us a little bit about what's going on at Cannes. How are you?
Good, how are you?
It's a lot of stuff, but it's an amazing time, as always.
And we're melting a bit.
Yeah,
but
it is a little hot, for sure.
But it's extraordinary. Look at this.
But, you're used to this, Vegas and all, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Vegas is always hot
it's a
in
dry
every
heat,
way.
as they say. So for those who might not be familiar, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your shop and what are you guys up to this week?
You betcha. So R&R Partners, we are best known for what happens here stays here.
I love it.
Yes, indeed, right? Yep. So we've been representing Vegas for over 45 years.
Wow,
is that
that's
insane?
crazy.
Yeah, that's just insane.
That could be a record for a client tenure.
Indeed.
Maybe the Army with DDB might have you beat, but I think that's probably the only one I can think of.
I think we can go toe-to-toe, with some folks.
Let's go.
So we have been living and breathing Las Vegas and then obviously visitation for a very long time.
Tourism, travel.
Absolutely, but it translates to every single thing else because we are data-driven, figuring out how to move people, what they do, obviously what they consume. So that has then allowed us to broaden out to all of these other areas and really make a difference. But Vegas is where we were born.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know you guys recently won the Firestone Walker business, Dustin Hines over at Firestone. And they are winning business too. They just acquired Stone from Sapporo, I believe. So, I feel like their marketing is very driven around lifestyle. They use surfers, they use bull riders, they use wine country, Central Coast. I mean, one of their beers is called 805 for goodness sake, right? So I wonder if you guys, how did you lean into a pitch like a mid-sized brewery using kind of maybe some of the sensibilities and point of view that you guys bring from being so rooted in experience, travel? What are some of the things that translate to a brand like that? Yeah,
well, again, it's understanding your audience, right? Which is so basic. I mean, that's marketing 101 here with you, Dylan. I'm just going to tell you. But the way we do it with Vegas is the segmentation, the way we start to look at each traveler generationally, sure, than every other demographic. And so that translates. Yeah. So when you're talking about, selling beer and they think expansively, but they want their consumer to see themselves in every possible way. So that's why it's so smart, is that everyone can see like, okay, maybe not, rodeo, but certainly surf all day.
Yeah, or Central California as like a aspirational brand. Like I'm lucky enough to live in San Diego. We have all these really cool brands on the beverage side for sure, Cutwater, June Shine, Ballast Point, to name a few, but also Viore or, some of these lifestyle brands that start in Southern California because people aspire to a location.
Oh, yeah.
But they also aspire to a lifestyle that's associated with that location.
But that's what's so smart. What you just said is it draws that segment of humans that want to be in that beautiful place. So there's all those opportunities. And so you've got some cool brands around.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. All right, so talk about your Cannes. What are you up to this week?
So all sorts of stuff.
Nice.
This has been really interesting to see what's happening in Cannes. It seems like the conversation has been a lot. Everyone's talking AI. Yeah. I'm sure you've had a whole bunch of those conversations.
Totally.
I just feel like, are we missing the point a bit?
Yeah.
Are we using AI to become more efficient?
It a crutch?
Yes. Where I think we're asking the wrong question.
I like that.
What can we do with AI that was impossible before? That is what we should be searching for. Something bespoke, something new, and then have the human judgment overlay on top of that to make it the real magic it needs to be. Not just, decreasing headcount or being efficient or, better buys. So I think the conversation is going to continue to evolve. Everybody got super excited it can do anything. I've certainly had clients that are like, oh, so I ran this through.
Right.
And what do you think about this?
I remember in the early days, some client sent me an influencer list with a bunch of influencers that didn't exist.
right? And you're like, wait a second there.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing is everyone, thought all of a sudden they're an expert in AI
panacea.
and they can do everything. And the truth is, the place we're at, the festival of creativity is where we're sitting right now.
I love that.
And so getting back to that moment, the art of it, the storytelling of it, these are dreamers. And so I feel like I don't want Cannes to lose the magic it was created for. By all of this, AI can do it, because no, these human beings are making extraordinary things.
Yeah, I love it. I've had a lot of conversations, whether it's ad tech, publishing, production folks at agencies, talking about really just the practicality of AI now, where it is accelerating very basic things. Like I talked to a production leader at a holdco today who said just the idea that you can do a timesheet in 3 minutes instead of 3 hours, is like, that's 3 hours that you get back to actually spend time thinking about what's going on the screen versus, doing kind of these busy work tasks that we all had to do before AI. But just the power of time saved and automating what used to be called busy work or grunt work or the drudgery of doing, a job. There's always parts of a job that are, things that you don't love doing, but you have to do it.
Yeah, you mean like my creatives actually maybe keeping track of a little bit of time because they can do it through AI.
Yeah.
So maybe I love that.
Totally. Yeah.
That's helpful.
Timesheets. That's a good one.
Yeah, super
100%.
helpful. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I gave a little example. I was preparing to come to this podcast, negotiating with a comms person on whether their C-level should come on my show or not. And I'm trying to be very respectful to comms leaders when they're asking a lot of, how big is your show? Who's your audience? Who have you interviewed in the past? Who are you interviewing at Cannes? I was like, wow, that's a long list. But I just popped onto Gemini, said, hey, who am I interviewing at Cannes? Huge list popped out, emailed it over to her, no problem.
See?
But the other cool part is that I was like, well, now that I have this list, I could maybe do something with it. I turned it into an infographic. Here's who's coming on the ad podcast at Cannes. Posted on LinkedIn, tagged every single person who was coming on, and it became one of my most engaged posts of the year.
Okay, high five.
Let's go.
That.
But that's something that,
Thank
like, if this gal didn't put me through the ringer of doing this task that AI was able to, enable me to do really quickly, which I would have probably in the past just said, no thanks, I'm not interested. It turned into something creative that was useful.
But that's what's interesting. That's the way that it's beneficial to us.
Yeah.
But again,
unlocking insights.
Yes.
Tactics even.
And it'll give really crisp insights. There's pieces because it starts to look through and it sees trends that humans don't. But then the human can take a look at that and start to infuse the emotional side of it. What's really going to play? What's really going to work with audiences? But again, when I talk about really thinking about AI allowing us to do things that were impossible before, with R&R, we dig in. We're very, very different, right? We were born out of politics and, I have all kinds of
advocacy, getting governors elected.
All the things. And so we come from a very different place.
Yeah.
And what that does for you when you come out of, politics or government or any of that, there is a day that you win or lose.
Yeah.
And so it makes an environment where we're exceedingly competitive.
Yeah.
And
every
we
dollar
don't
must be spent by this day, and every dollar must be spent as efficiently as possible.
But not even that. It is that we have to win, so we do anything to win.
That's interesting.
So what I do,
life or death.
Yes. So what I do with our clients become our true partners,
I love that.
and we do anything for them because we're going to win.
So good.
And so that is what is different. So with AI, when I start to look at that, because we're weird, because I have all of these unique one-of-a-kind minds, right? I have an actual rocket scientist.
Wow.
I have a behavioral psychologist. I have elected officials, former elected officials, just all of these different humans that come up with completely different solutions for clients.
Wow.
So one of the things we did with AI, because it's like, okay, we're going to be in this game, but we're going to do it different than everybody else because that's what we do.
Sure.
So we have devs that are ours with a political scientist who's killer, did campaigns, and so understands numbers, data, analytics, and how to win.
Yeah.
And we made our own platform that can predict behavior.
Wow, that's cool.
And it's a jaw dropper. It's so scary accurate that I was like, whoa, ew, ooh. Because if you can predict behavior, that's the game.
Yeah, if you
know
can
how
predict
people
behavior, then you know
consume,
how
where
to
they
capitalize
go.
on
Yes!
it. What message will nudge them into the behavior that they might already be subconsciously thinking about.
Yes.
It's like a lot of marketing is just aiding brand awareness that already exists.
And so,
just getting them to the finishing line. Right?
Yeah, so no, we do it differently. And so we can predict that, and there's nothing like it. Nobody has anything like it, obviously. We look at the competitive set and, what else is out there. Nothing even comes close. And again, it's one of those like, ooh, that's actually really good. We couldn't have done that before. We could not have done that without the help of AI. But it is these crazy humans that I have that figured out how to write that code to create something that no one else can do.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk some travel trends, because I know
do
you
it.
guys are heavy there.
Let's do it.
There was the idea of the drop and flop vacation, where you just come, you drop all your stuff off, you flop on the beach, and then you sit there for 7 days and eat, drink, and be merry. And that's, there's a vacation that I think some people like that. And then last year was a trend around the, experience economy. So I visited a property in Tulum where I got to make salsa with the head chef with my family. And I've told that story probably 10,000 times.
That's so rad.
Yeah, and it was like, immersive in the culture, real high-level hospitality, my experience that then becomes word-of-mouth marketing. And then there's this new trend around the transformation economy. Like, people want to go, take a trip, do something that they come back with a different point of view on the world, that they feel changed in some way. Be curious how you guys are seeing the evolving travel trends, and like what are some of, and Vegas ultimately is the tapestry and the playground which is able to capitalize on all these trends so well and basically make people think they're in these exotic locations by transforming the world. It's like Disneyland, essentially. You're transforming this place that lives in the desert into anywhere you want to be, anything you want to do. Be curious kind of how you guys think about those trends as they evolve.
Yeah, so obviously it is incumbent upon us to read the tea leaves every second of every day.
Yeah.
So we have more visitor data based on not just Las Vegas, all the other destinations that we represent, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So
you guys
we
have a broad portfolio. We always like to talk about Vegas, but
but Brand USA, right? Representing the entire country to international visitors, which, by the way, is not easy right now.
In the middle of a World Cup season, LA 28 coming up.
Yes, and the chaos of the world, right, starts to affect what travel looks like.
There's some brand perception issues with America abroad, unfortunately, in the travel world. But
so yes, and so with our strange background, that's very important. So we understand how to talk to international visitors, to remind them of the nostalgia of what America can be. So Campaign America the Beautiful, just the emotional piece, like get rid of all the chatter, get rid of all of those things that are happening in the world, and just start to think about the movies you watched. Come and see those places that they were filmed, like what you did in Mexico with that salsa
trend, I think it's called, right? Where you go visit the Hotel del Coronado because you like that Marilyn Monroe movie.
100%. And
you visit the Fontainebleau in Miami and you see all the stars on the hallways that have graced the halls of that hotel, and have Frank Sinatra, Rat Pack,
absolutely, yes. And so we did some research that verified exactly what you just said. Travel is transformative.
Yeah.
It changes your DNA. So your salsa experience, you've told how many people?
Lots.
And now you're going to make it all the time.
I did, yeah. I literally bought the mortar and pestle, and it's like a family thing we do now.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I did the same thing with guacamole. Like my guacamole. Well, we could do this together, right? I'll do the guacamole. Yeah, you do the salsa. But it changes you. And what we found in the research, and then what we're finding, is that the friction points, because travel's not easy. There's always some hiccup, some problem that happens.
Yeah.
In those moments, those are the moments that can really change you. So you missed that train and you don't know now where to go because you're in Luxembourg. And so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go get a beer and kind of see what's gonna happen. Those are the moments. Then you meet a stranger sitting next to you. Then you become lifelong friends. Travel just changes the way we see the world. We come back recharged. So I'll tell you from a trend perspective, what we're seeing is everybody's worn out,
Yeah.
just completely worn out, and looking for a way, a path, just to feel better, like them again, and
wellness,
joy,
battery
happy.
charging,
Yes.
less stressed, clean slate.
Yes, and so it means something different for each person. That's our job to figure out who to talk to about what destination that's going to recharge them. And so that recharge trend of finding a way to stop whether it's the mundane everyday of life or the chaos and uncertainty, or some folks fear about what's going on in the world and not knowing, them escaping and getting away in whatever way they see they should. Because Las Vegas, you are so right. You can find anything there, right? And you are transported to truly another land. It is the world's greatest escape. But so are these other, Puerto Rico, how beautiful, and what they went through. We've had them as a client, a partner. I rarely say client because we become so close to them. But what they went through with natural disasters and then federal funding that we wrapped around them, and that island has seen 5 years of the greatest success they've ever seen.
That's awesome.
Because we're talking to folks about the authenticity of that island. Unbelievable what you can do there if you want that tropical side of the world. The craziness, beauty, and spectacle of Vegas all day long. The United States, let's go see every little corner.
Every national park, every historical town.
Yeah, with America's 250, it's like there's so many things to see. Route 66 and what that might mean to you. And you and I can learn to make something else barbecue. I think we're gonna go barbecue.
Let's do it, let's do it. Amazing. Well, Michon, thanks so much for coming on and spending a little bit of time with us today. If folks want to connect with you, follow along with your thought leadership, or connect with the agency, where would you like to send people?
R&Rpartners.com is easy.
Perfect.
Just come see me.
We'll link.
This was so fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
On YouTube, finding the right audience to build a media plan requires hours of research. And optimizing campaigns is time-consuming and a bit of a guessing game. That's why we built technology to do it for you. Strike Social.